What's up, YouTube? Raven Gamer here. I got my Game Boy Advance. I'm going to take it apart and clean it up. I got this Game Boy a couple or 3 years ago. Person I was dating found it in the trash, but because it was pre-owned and was somebody else's, I really have no idea what to expect once I get it open and see. For all I know, somebody could have dropped it in a bowl of grape juice or tomato soup. I really have no idea. It's kind of scratched up and beat up, so I'm not extremely concerned about it, and it's missing its battery cover. I'm going to go online and see if maybe I can try to find me another one, but I'm not too worried about it because honestly I'll probably just buy another Game Boy Advance that's in better condition. So we're going to need a Phillips screwdriver, a pretty small bit to it. But besides that, we need our tri-wing screwdriver, like always. There are 6 tri-wing screws, and then unlike any other Nintendo system or whatever I've taken apart today, on the one of the external screws is not tri-wing, it's a Phillips right here, so that makes 7 screws that we're going to have to take out. But first thing I need to do is take out the game. I actually don't have any Game Boy Advance games except for this one, and this one was in the Game Boy Advance. There might be something wrong with it, I don't know. But it's the Sacred Cards. Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm not too fond of Yu-Gi-Oh, but I don't know. It's a game. Anyway. So I'm going to remove these screws, and then I'll meet you guys right back here. Okay, we've removed all 7 of the screw bits with relative ease. It didn't really cause me any issues. It did take a little bit. Once they were actually unscrewed, it took they seemed to catch in the plastic's hole, and I kind of had to give them a gentle slap to get them out, which is video game abuse, and I'm kind of against people who beat their systems, so that kind of sucks. But anyway, so there's the 2 halves. This half, you have the cover, the protective cover that separates the cartridge from the rest of the system. That's about it. So this is going to be easy to clean up. We're going to be using denatured alcohol on this, and the reason for that is a lot of window cleaner says streak free, and you can get automotive glass cleaner that says streak free, but when that dries it does still leave a film. And I mean, it may be difficult to see, but it does leave residue. And even regular alcohol, once that evaporates and dries, it also leaves a residue. But denatured alcohol will not do that, so that's the best thing to clean these up with. Okay, now these 2 little side pieces, they're just aesthetic. They don't really do anything. They just come right off. So we'll set those to the side over here. And these 2 shoulder buttons, which on as far as a controller would go, I guess would be L or R, but shoulder buttons. Oh look, they were actually labeled L or R. I never actually owned a Game Boy Advance. I have a Game Boy Pocket. So these come right off, and just like with the GameCube control L or R, they have these 2 little prongs which fit into their corresponding holes. The only difference is that this little metal piece slides right down into here underneath the circuit board, but those come out pretty easy as well. So okay, now we have the power button right here. Just take that off and set that to the side. Okay, now there's only 2 screws holding the circuit board on, 2 small. It looks like 2 small Phillips that need removed. But first we need to remove this ribbon. And there are 2 little, I don't know, little latches on the side of the ribbon cable that you need to pull up on. And that'll release the ribbon, and the ribbon will come out with ease. Don't pull the ribbon out, you risk ripping the ribbon. And I've watched I don't know how many YouTube videos where people don't know that, and they're taking these apart and they're just pulling pretty hard on the ribbons, and you could end up breaking your ribbons. So once you get those latches up, the ribbon will just pull right out. Once you have that disconnected, we're going to take out the 2 Phillips screws and then remove the circuit board. Okay, we've removed the 2 Phillips screws, and we're just going to lightly pull up on the circuit board, make sure there's no more attachment points. And as you can see, there aren't. So there's a CPU on the bottom right here. And this is the speaker. That shouldn't have been on there. That scares me. That shouldn't have attached like that. But anyway, we're going to set the circuit board. It looks pretty clean, so we're just going to set that to the side. We might wipe it down with a dry cloth or a dry Q-tip, but that's about it. Anyway, I'll put that right back there. These membranes, like every other controller and system, go over top or underneath, depending on how the Game Boy setting of the keypads. And they allow the key to, they give that key the button that springiness, so when you press it, it doesn't feel smushy. It kind of snaps back, and they separate the circuit board from the keys, and just offer some protection so that when you push the button, you don't have plastic directly hitting the key. Instead, it'll push on this membrane. This membrane will go down and register your command to the circuit board. So anyway, just remove these membranes and set those to the side. And then the buttons will just come right out. Set those to the side as well. Make sure I got them all. It appears that way. Now this we're not going to take off. I'm not going to do any repairs or cleaning to the actual LCD panel, so I'll leave that on. Looks like it's going to be easy to clean. Actually, this seems to be a lot simpler than the Game Boy I took apart, so should have no issues there. Now, what I'm going to be using is, again, the denatured alcohol and Q-tips, and I'm going to clean the outside and the interior and give it a really nice detailed cleaning. It actually doesn't look as bad as I kind of thought it was. I was kind of scared. I had no idea what to expect once I opened it up. I do see a little bit of dirt, but that's about it. Wasn't taken care of, but it wasn't the trash. So we're going to clean these off. Again, you need to make sure that it's completely dry before we put it back together. So we're going to clean it, and I'm going to let it set and dry, and then I'll meet you guys back here and we'll get it all put back together. And yeah, I'll see you then. Okay, we're back. I did pull this metal cartridge protecting cover off. It's got a couple Phillips screwdrivers in it. I pulled that off just so I could clean it and underneath of it, and I went ahead and put that back on. And then I gave this side, everywhere, even inside of the screw holes, I gave it a real detailed cleaning. And this half as well. Well, it took a little longer on this half because it's got so many little, button wells and nooks and crannies, but got that detailed. And the circuit board was pretty clean. Didn't really have to do much to it. It looks like we got a little, burning on this side, and I'm not sure what that's from. Maybe it overheated, I don't know, but I'm going to put some batteries in it at a later date just and test it out, see if it works. And, we went ahead and cleaned up all the buttons. Now all we got to do is put it back together. And we're going to start with the buttons. And go ahead and put the D-pad in first. Just drop that in, and then these membranes, you know, like every other system, they have these two little notches on the membrane which fit into two corresponding notches or posts on the system's plastic. If I can locate those, and I think I got them. Okay. Then start and select. We will put that in, and it only goes in one way. Okay, now for the A and B button. What I do like is, you know, these have posts on the A and B button that are different. They fit into their corresponding wells, so that if you forget which one goes where, you cannot mix them up. Now to put on the power button. Goes in this little hole, and there we go. Just make sure that it's on its corresponding prong on the circuit board. Now we're going to replace the L and R triggers. Like I said, they have a well that the notch will go into, and then that little metal piece goes underneath the circuit board. I think it acts as a spring. I don't really think it does much, other than, you know, gives the L or R button some bounce back. Okay, then we're going to replace the side panels. Apparently those will only go on one way too, so you can't mix those up. Okay, we got the buttons now back in, and we've put the circuit board back in, and now we're going to put the screws back into the circuit board and attach it to the system, or the plastic shell. Okay, we've reattached the two screws back into the circuit board. Now we need to reattach the ribbon. So just slide it back into the port, make sure it's tight in there, and then push down on the two tabs, securing the ribbon. Then reattach the two halves together and replace your screws. Now we're going to start off with that lonesome single Phillips, which goes in the battery well. I guess it doesn't really matter. You can put it anywhere you want probably, but it's just inconvenient if you have to take it apart again. So it's best to just stick it in the battery compartment, you know, like the outcast that it is. Okay, we've got the tri-wing screws back in, and the one Phillips, and we're going to set that to the side for now. I got some double-A batteries, and I'm going to hope that they're good. They're in a flashlight right now, so we'll test that out in just a sec, make sure it still works. We're going to take apart this Yu-Gi-Oh cart, if the screw comes out. So that's the inside of a GameBoy Advance cartridge. A little bit of dirt or something on the connection pin, or the circuit board, or the pins on the cartridge. We'll just clean this up a little bit and before we stick it in. That way, if it doesn't work, I can roll out the cartridge. Okay, so there was actually quite a bit of dirt in this cartridge, which it makes me a little suspicious, because usually these cartridges are built pretty solid, and it's very difficult for anything to get inside the actual inner cartridge up here, where, you know, the important parts of the circuit board are at, but there was quite a bit of some kind of crusty stuff in there, and I got that off, so that kind of makes me a little nervous. But yeah, we're just going to put this back together. There we go. And now all we need to do is replace the screw, and we can test it out. Okay, well, I did put a couple batteries in it, and the battery light did turn on, but nothing's showing up on the screen. And I don't think I've ever tested this Game Boy out, so I don't really know if it ever really did work. It could be the cartridge, but I really doubt it. I think it's honestly probably just you know, something's wrong internally. So I'm gonna open it back up and see if I can notice anything, because I really wasn't looking for anything when I took it apart. If I can find another Game Boy Advance cartridge, I'll just try another Game Boy Advance cartridge and see if I have the same trouble. But there should be something showing up on the screen, even if there's no cartridge in the system. So, but at least we got it cleaned up and nice. And if I can't get it to work, then, you know, I'll just buy another Game Boy Advanced, and we can do a video on opening that up. Anyway, thank you for watching. This has been The Raven Gamer, and next episode, I've got a GameCube sitting around that I wanted to open up because it's not turning on, and I don't know, it might be a simple fix, but I'd like to open it up and see if I can figure out what the problem is. So that'll probably be my next video, and hope you guys have enjoyed this. If you've enjoyed this, please hit the like button and feel free to subscribe. I am The Raven Gamer, and I will see you guys next time.